Welcome to Feedstuffs 365 and National Hog Farmer. I'm Ann Hess. Each year, the American Association of Swine Veterinarians recognizes a Technical Services Allied Industry Veterinarian of the Year. This award is given to swine industry veterinarians who have demonstrated an unusual degree of proficiency and effectiveness in delivery of veterinary service to their companies and their clients, as well as their tireless efforts in service to AASV and the swine industry. Joining us today is this year's award winner, Boehringer Ingelheim's Senior Key Account Veterinarian for Swine, Dr. Greg Cline. Welcome, Dr. Cline, and thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you, Ann. It's a pleasure to be here.
Let's start the conversation by having you give us a little background about your education, professional career, your role with BI, and your focus within the company.
Yeah, Ann, I'm a University of Missouri College of Veterinary Medicine graduate, and I've got a pretty diverse career. Started off in private food animal exclusive practice in Central Missouri. Moved from there to large system pig experience with Cargill Pork and Carroll's Foods, which is Carroll's Foods now is a part of Smithfield. And then I've been with BI for Boehringer Ingelheim for over 21 years in various roles. Mainly my time at Boehringer Ingelheim has been as a senior key account veterinarian, but I also spent 5 years as a technical manager for enteric products. As far as my area of focus, my passion lies with enteric diseases and nursery grow finish production. I know those are pretty broad areas of focus, but they are areas of my personal passion.
Sure. And as part of your job, you obviously spend a lot of time in the field and have a deep understanding of the issues that are top of mind for producers. Hearing quite a buzz about the new PRRS variant, APP in Iowa. Let's start with diseases. What diseases are causing most concern for producers right now?
Well, Ann, it's a varied list. Of course, it's going to depend upon your production type and your geography to some degree. But let's start with some old classics. We still deal with PRRS. We still deal with influenza. APP is being discussed recently as top of mind diseases that year in and year out, causes some of these issues. There's still some enteric issues out there with PED, Delta Corona. We mustn't forget about those. PCV2 and F18 post-weaning E. coli have reemerged, the top of mind diseases also. The list is long, but it's varied on multiple factors, but it's diseases that we have, for the large part, have quite a bit of experience with.
Sure. And you've spent quite a bit of your career in the area of gut health. What are some of the new challenges producers are seeing specific to gut health?
Well, let's talk about a couple of those specific challenges. Of course, the monophasic strain of Salmonella has emerged as a dominant strain of Salmonella in pigs and in people. Of course, the Salmonella challenges in nursery and finishing are not anything especially new, but the emergence of this strain to be the dominant strain in pigs and people. Food Safety Inspection Service is considering new regulations on Salmonella post-harvest testing. This may require us to rethink Salmonella control programs as we go into the future. Lawsonia intracellularis is another one of those organisms that continues to be widely present in most farms, most herds. Post-weaning, F18 E. coli is becoming much more of an issue. We dealt quite extensively with F18 E. coli post-weaning in the late 90s and early 2000s. Kind of got a little bit better, and then now it's kind of showing up again as being difficult to deal with. But all of those just lead us to the conclusion that gut health is so important. As we take a look at the corn and other feedstuffs futures, we know we've got to do everything we can to increase the efficiency and potential of the gut health. These costs are going to increase. We know that, and as this cost increases in raising a pound of pork, focusing on gut health will pay us, and the efficiency will pay us dividends in that area.
As African swine fever inches closer to us, our borders, how are producers approaching issues of foreign animal disease? Are we ramping up biosecurity plans and looking at more premise ID, secure pork plans, things like that nature?
Yeah, and indeed, those things are in the works. But honestly, we're approaching the issue of foreign animal diseases a lot better than I've ever seen it in the industry. Take, for example, in 2012, when PED arrived, we were so unaware. We were so unprepared. We didn't even have the ability to test for that coronavirus. But we adapted pretty quickly. Today, the industry is really aware of the possibility of introduction of a foreign animal disease. Various allied industries and academia have hosted drills or preparedness exercises. There is training and discussions available. Of course, the government has always had plans in place to deal with the introduction of foreign animal diseases, but today those plans have been enhanced through collaboration with the industry. And we never want to see a foreign animal disease. We never want to say we're totally ready. We're not ready, but we're in a lot better place than I've ever seen us before. And like you said, biosecurity is critically important. Just really want to underscore the fact that, don't let people or things on your farm unless they have a real reason to be there, because
Sure.
those things, we're seeing this right now with high path avian influenza. There's a lot of scrutiny on biosecurity. There's going to be no in the short term, no exhibition of birds, and those things are things that we certainly have those plans in place for the pig industry if we was to introduce one of those type diseases. But while I say we're never really fully ready, we never want to see a foreign animal disease be introduced. I do know that we're better prepared than I've ever seen us in the U.S.
As we talk about getting ready on farm, we also have to address the labor issues that keep happening in the industry. What are the issues you're hearing about from producers?
That labor issue is just huge, and it's not particular to the swine industry. It's a systematic issue across our country. It's one that we're facing from border to border, not specific just to swine. Our need, of course, in the swine industry for labor is exacerbated by the fact that our farms are oftentimes in rural communities where populations are decreasing, where competition for labor is very extreme. And don't have a real optimistic answer right there, going forward with the labor issues. But if we embrace the idea that labor is going to continue to be tight, it is tight and it will continue to be tight. We're going to need to embrace smart technology, if you will, and we're going to have to look at labor saving equipment. Of course, that takes us right to the robotics word. If there is such a thing that we can utilize robotics, but we'll embrace these smart and more precise technologies in our barns, in and around the things that we do. And in fact, we're already starting to see barns move in that direction, being hooked to the internet, where things are being monitored remotely. Things are being adjusted remotely as far as the environment. So these things will only continue in the future. One, because we need to increase our efficiency in raising pigs, and two, labor will continue to be an issue.
You mentioned the optimism about the smart technology. What gives you optimism about the future of the industry as we wrap up here? Just some final thoughts from being the award winner this year.
Yeah, we're all blessed to work in the greatest industry in the world, and that's agriculture. We work with the best and the brightest I think this world has to offer in terms of people in agriculture. We do a really good thing in providing wholesome, safe food for people around the world. But here lies my optimism. In the United States, the swine industry We raise the healthiest, the most nutritious, the most efficient pork product in the world. We're going to continue in that fact. It will be hard for people to compete with our U.S. pork industry. That makes me carry some optimism. And also, we're fortunate to work with just the best people, the good people that care about their animals, care about the well-being of their animals, care about the safety of the pork product. We're just fortunate to work with just great folks. Yep, challenges may come, but we've always found ways to adapt, to adopt, to overcome those challenges in the past. We really are a resilient lot. The future looks great. Yes, the price of feed may be going to go up. Yes, concerns over foreign animal disease there. We have the great people. We have great production systems. We'll be resilient. We will overcome. We'll find ways to make those things happen. We have in the past. We will in the future.
Boehringer Ingelheim Key Account Veterinarian, Dr. Greg Cline, congratulations on your AASV award, and thank you so much for your time today. For you and our audience, we thank you for tuning in. For more coverage from the annual AASV meeting in Indianapolis, be sure to check out the on-demand section of Feedstuffs 365, from animal disease preparedness and response to the challenges facing swine veterinarians, such as mental health and animal welfare. We visit with a number of industry professionals on many issues at this year's conference. For Feedstuffs 365 and National Hog Farmer, I'm Ann Hess.